First of all, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my many friends, also to my many enemies, to all of my loyal YouTube and Facebook subscribers. I'm recording this video on Tuesday night. Many of you will be seeing this on Valentine's Day, which is February 14th on Wednesday, and hence as to why I got on, what am I wearing? Mardi Gras beads. Yep, in celebration of Fat Tuesday, in the beginning of Ash Wednesday, the official beginning of the Lenten season, right before Easter. Okay, and on tonight, in honor of tomorrow being Valentine's Day, you see I have my phone and everything with me because I'm going to be timing this video because I can only do like 20 minutes increments on my DSLR. So I'm going to get into it. This is going to be my Valentine's Day special. And my title for this video is going to be, what does a woman really want? Very poignant and very important question. What does a woman really want? Well, the reason why I came to this title and decided to do this video today from Valentine's Day, February 14th, is I asked myself that question at the age of 44. What does a woman really want? Because at 44 years old, of being blessed to be on this earth, sometimes I can almost say I don't really know anymore what a woman wants. And I want to talk a little bit to you all today about the hard decisions of dating in this day and time. As many of you all know that I grew up with two blind parents, and they've been married almost 50 years. And, I am, a product of that, marriage, me and my younger brother. And I am, legally blind and everything myself. And so therefore, at 44 years old, I would have to say my dating life has been full of problems and pitfalls. And, sometimes I just sit back and, try to ask myself why. Why has my dating life been so full of pitfalls? It's just that I have come to the conclusion as to, certain reasons that I'm going to outline within this video. Number one, one of the reasons that I came up with is that these days, it doesn't matter, I know a whole lot of, you have a whole lot of YouTubers like Tommy Sotomayor and Angry Man and, people like this who talk about, conditions of the black community and talking about problems in dating and getting together with the average American black female, okay? But I'm not going to just say that it's the average American black female that's always the problem. I'm going to say that the problem, stems amongst all races. It doesn't matter whether it's black, white, Latino, Asian, or other, or whatever. That I feel these days is something. The number one problem is I feel that a whole lot of people jump into relationships or in relationships basically based upon their own agendas. Meaning that it's something that they are looking for other than just that person, or looking to judge that person amongst themselves or for themselves. Either they're looking for sex or security or stability or money or, it's something like that. It's not about judging a person for themselves, because I have to go back to my life now, that looking at my life, if somebody just had to judge me for me on my own merits, then if somebody was judging me for me, I wouldn't be by myself right now. I think at 44, I would have been able to find the right person. And, a number two reason is I feel a whole lot of women, it's like, they want to be, especially these days, and I know maybe this is the time and everything that we're living in. They want to be like so, headstrong and all of this other kind of stuff. And then, I notice other black female YouTubers, one of the main ones that, I've listened to is Deborah Cooper, who is the head of SurvivingDating.com. It's, she's a black female out of California, and it seems like she always says all kinds of crazy stuff to put men down, just saying all kinds of things, and it's crazy. I mean, and I think that's going to lead off and completely segue into another problem. It's just that sometimes, us men, when we do certain things, sometimes we can have like the best of thoughts and the best of intentions. But it's like sometimes you don't know the kind of woman that you are dealing with. Like Deborah Cooper said, for instance, it's a turnoff to her after a first date for a man to call her. Now, she just said it's something if they go out and everything, have a nice time and that kind of thing. If a man calls her or texts her later on that night and, ask her like, does she make it home okay? Or just lets her know, I had a good time with you and everything tonight and everything. Hopefully, we can do it again sometime. She says that is a turn off to her. But yet, I mean, you find some women who think that you're not thinking about them at all, or you're not interested in them at all if you're not doing these things. So, sometimes with certain things, I have come to some of the conclusions that a whole lot of people and figures, should I say, in the female, gender are completely bipolar. It's like some of you women or something say that you want one thing, but whenever you get it, then you swear you want something else. Some of you all don't know what it is that you want. And it's just something that's just like very, very, very frustrating. And nowadays and stuff with the career woman, a whole lot of you women and stuff treat us like, you don't need a man. Like you just have to like do it all and everything, and you wouldn't want us around for anything. And I mean, it seems like it's something that in the relationship, you want to wear the pants in the family. You want to go and run everything. You want to go and control everything. And like I said, going back to one other point, I feel a whole lot of people, they get into relationships and everything, it's based upon, their own agendas, where people are looking like more for money and all of that other kind of stuff. Hold up, y'all. Let me check my time, make sure I'm on track time-wise. Sorry, I gotta hold the phone kind of close to my face. Oh, yeah, I'm on track so far, good time-wise. So I'm gonna go into this next point, and tell you a little story. The reason why I say a whole lot of people, they're also into their own agendas, and sometimes, I've at least as for me, I've ran into women who don't completely know what they want, because it's like a couple of years ago, I was at a friend of mine's, a party that a friend of mine was hosting for Mother's Day. She invited me over, because, me and her, we went to school together. We was in special ed class together, because she's legally blind also. So, over the years and stuff, we kept in contact, and, she invited me over, had this Mother's Day dinner at her house that she was cooking for. So she invited me over, and then I met a friend of hers. And then, me and this friend of hers and everything, who shall remain nameless, even though I want to call out her name and everything, but I realized that's just the flesh. So, she'll remain nameless for this particular video. Me and this young lady, we start talking and everything. And then we find out, like, we have a whole lot in common and everything. The conversation is just like, going, like, very well. I mean, it seems like we vibing and all of that. But, I asked, for some reason, something just tells me to ask her out, so I do ask her out. And after all of this good talk and after all of this good conversation and everything, she says, I'll think about it. Dude, what is there to think about? I mean, we had a good time and had a good conversation. So I gave her my number or whatever. I wasn't expecting, anything of it or nothing like that. But then later on in the year, now, mind you now, that Mother's Day takes place in May. But, I get a call from my friend in, a few weeks before Christmas. That she's, called me up or something that asked me, well, my friend and everything, was, is over here and everything. She been over here for the last week hanging with me. And she wondered when you going to take her out or whatever. Now, remind you, the girl didn't call me. My friend, who's the mutual friend between us, called me. So I, said that, I wouldn't, and I was still interested. So, I go over there, like, one day after church and everything, all, dressed up and everything, and I'm much dressed a whole lot better than what I'm looking like right now. definitely. You know, this is a first date, so, you know, sometimes for a first date, you know, you do have to put on like a good impression because you only have like one chance to do that. At least, you know, in the world, so they say. And, you know, we go out to dinner and everything at the White Palace Grill in downtown Chicago. And, you know, we have a pretty good meal and everything. And then I was kind of in the mood after my meal for something sweet. And so I was going to order dessert, and so I was going to order her dessert too. So I asked her, like, what it is she wanted. And then she asked me, well, is it possible instead of you buying me dessert for you to just give me the dessert money? I'm like, you know, at first I wasn't catching it or anything. I just said, like, you know, what do you mean, whatever? And it come to find out that, you know, she was over at my friend's house because she didn't have any money to get back home on her special transportation that, you know, she normally takes because, you know, she's disabled and everything too. And they come to find out she didn't really have any food to eat because, you know, she ate like a little bit there, but most of it she got a to-go tray and like took a whole bunch of it home because at White Palace Grill, you know, they give you like big helpings of food. So, you know, she ended up taking a whole lot of it home. But then come to find out, you know, I feel like in the end, you know, she told me that in the end she didn't have any food, didn't have any money for food and all this other kind of stuff. So I feel that she only went out for me and only used me for car fare and only like as a way to get back home and only, you know, for a meal, but never, you know, wanting to really get a chance to know me as a person. And I think that that is a tragedy. Like I said, people who are into things for their own thoughts and their own ways and their own agendas. I mean, you know, and I don't feel that that's the way that dating is supposed to be. That every single body is on this whole money thing now. And I feel that it's something that's really ashamed. And let me check my time. Sometimes, you know, this time is like very small. So sometimes I gotta, okay, I think I got a little bit more time to maybe tell you one more story before I have to pause the camera and then start and then refinish this video. Because, you know, this whole thing is something about the whole money grab thing situation. I think that it's not only in the straight world, I feel it goes all over. Because I had another situation where it was like some years ago where I went, you know, out. I don't know how come I did it because, you know, I was raised not to do it and I was raised, you know, that it was, you know, supposed to be, you know, wrong. And this is not anything insulting towards, you know, all of my gay and lesbian followers and everything out there. But I did, you know, visit a gay bar. And then, you know, I guess I was trying to find myself, you know, I don't know. Because, you know, I was going through a bit, kind of a bad, rough time in my life. So I guess I was trying to find myself. And so, you know, there was this trans woman, you know, also known as a T-girl, a transsexual, who, in case y'all don't know what that is, you know, who came and come talk to me. You know, it actually looked like a real female and all of that and everything. But it was, you know, a dude. I guess dressed like a female, but it looked like a real female. But I knew it was a guy. And it's like, you know, we start talking and everything and the conversation was good. Until she, he, whatever, noticed that I was visually impaired. And she said, oh man, you must get a check once a month. Boy, you should make me your payee. I just turned around and just walked away. You know, so it lets you know it goes through all phases of life. And recently I had another situation about a month ago where I was, you know, one of my best friends, me and her, we talk every single day. You know, she lives in Texas, I'm here in Chicago. And, you know, she works with a guy who's gay. Then I guess she was coming in from a lunch break and he wanted to know who it was that she was talking to. And she just said, I'm talking to my friend Rosa from Chicago. And then the first thing he said, oh, is he single or whatever? And she's like, oh yeah, he's single. Does he have a job? Does he have money? I'm like, yo, dude, really? So it lets you know that this, you know, stupidness and this selfishness and this stinginess or whatever it is that you want to call it, you know, it goes through all walks of life and it's just so bad. I mean, it's a shame that, you know, that's the first thing of something. Whenever a female approaches you, they don't ask you hardly your name or nothing no more, or anything else about you. The first thing that they want to know is, what do you do for a living? Because I think that they want to know what you want to do, that you do want to, oh Lord, getting tongue tied. They want to know what it is you do for a living, because they're trying to tie that into money. Because if you're doing something for a living, especially if it's the right kind of job, you know, they will try to talk to you because, oh man, he's a engineer, or he's a doctor, or he works for the city, or it's possible that he could even be a lawyer. Oh man, I gotta hold on to this brother because he got a job, or he's a BMW. You know, he's a black man working. And please, I'm not there trying to say that it's not important for people to have things and want, you know, it's not important and everything for people to work. But why are you trying to find out, women, what the man has in the relationship, or what the man is bringing to the table? What you need to ask yourself the question: what is it that you are bringing to the table? Besides just a nice behind and a nice set of titties and maybe a cute face and some nice hips. What is it that you're bringing? Don't put it on the man to be so responsible, and yet you females out there act like you can just sit up and look pretty and don't have to do nothing. You know, this it's just terrible. So on that and everything, I'm just going to pause this video. Then, you know, you're going to see it connect, but I just have to pause it because I'm getting close to that 20-minute mark. And I will be right back to finish out this video. And I'm going to tell you some more things on why dating, I feel, in this society of America is so hard. I'll be right back. Okay, you all, we're back on. I just have to pause the camera. So I'm going to finish up this video. I'm going to finish up with why I feel that dating is so hard in this society. Like I said in the last segment, that I think that people are too much into their own personal way, or too much into their own personal agendas. And, you know, I feel that that's the hard thing about dating. And most of all, I feel a whole lot of people get involved, men and women, into things, into relationships, without even knowing who they are. I think that you have to know who you are and how God made you before, you know, you enter into something with someone else. You know, there was a great, you know, sermon by, you know, a pastor named G. Craig Lewis. He entitled this one sermon, a DVD that he had, called The Power of One. In case you all don't know, G. Craig Lewis is the pastor and founder of Adamant Believers Council, located in Grand Prairie, Texas. And he had a good video talking about the power of one, meaning that, you know, it's certain things as one that you should accomplish, certain things as one that you should have done or experienced or been through, and that you have done before God or for God, before you know, call yourself trying to connect with someone else. Because it is power in one before there is power in two. So therefore, you have to know who you are first as a person. You most of all have to also know who God is before you can connect yourself with someone else. And then I think another reason is, I think a whole lot of people, you know, if they're in a relationship, they are willing to take and put up with a whole lot just to stay with this one person, because it's slim pickings out there. So I just feel that if you're into something and it's not good, I don't feel that you have to take, you know, certain things, or have to take a level of abuse. Let me look at the time and see what time I started. You all? Okay, good. And take a level of abuse just in order to be with a man or woman. Case in point, I got a good friend of mine, another friend of mine, where she's been with her guy for like 5 or 6 years. And, you know, this year and stuff, they're talking about getting married. But it's a whole lot of issues that this man has. But, you know, she's saying that she possibly still wants to marry him. And which goes back to knowing who you are. If you have, you know for a fact that you have these kind of problems and everything from your past that's haunting you, you need to seek some kind of counseling. You need to fast or pray or do something so you can deal yourself with your issues without bringing it into someone else's life, especially someone who didn't sign on to it. Because this guy, I guess he, had a kind of a rough childhood and everything. And so, basically what he does every single day is just drink. He gets drunk every single weekend. Has to have a beer, maybe two, every single night. I mean, he could get his check. He's worked on the job for well over a year. And it seems like almost like at the few days after he gets his check, there's no more money for food. There's no money to pay bills. There's no money to do anything because he done drank it all up. That's a problem. I tell her all the time, so there's no kind of way I could be with someone like that who had those kind of vices and habits like that. I mean, it's just so bad and everything to the point that, when he drinks, I can understand maybe getting drunk or whatever at home on the weekend, but it's bad when you go to your job drunk. Or, and what the worst thing this guy has done? He's gone to church drunk. That's a problem. He does and says all kinds of crazy things up out of his mouth and everything, to her, and says all kinds of bogus things to her family. And, yet he wants to sit back and wonder how come the family doesn't like him. Why? Because he's done a lot of things to make himself unlikable, even by me. Because I tell her all the time that the next time he says something slick to my face, you think it's not like I'm advocating violence or anything, but with me, he's gonna find himself getting up off the floor. Because I'm to the point that I can't take it anymore. Anytime that you're a grown man and you're gonna walk up in my face, I'm talking to somebody else, not even talking to him now, and he's gonna come in my face and say, "Man, shut the fuck up." Now, maybe she might want to deal with that. I don't have to deal with it, and I won't. He's done so much to make himself unlikable that everybody in their family says that if they get married, they're not going to be at the wedding. That's a problem. That this man who's 40-something years old, older than I am, has not worked on his problems and worked on his issues and set and laid before God and got the kind of help and everything that he needs to overcome the issues that he has, but yet and still he wants to take it and visit upon his fiance and her family and his family and all of the community and all of the world. So no, you don't have to. I can understand, we all have problems and issues that we are trying to struggle with. And yeah, and truly, and please don't ever think that I'm trying to diss this guy or anything like that. Because, I have found out, certain things maybe from his past and everything that could have hurt him or whatever. And we've all gone through, some stuff in our lifetime. I know I have, but I mean, I had to admit, some of the problems and struggles and challenges I had in my life, it seemed like it pales in comparison to certain issues and problems that he's had in his life with himself or with his family or anything. Because, certain things he went through or something, especially when he was younger, were not his fault and wasn't of his own making. But at the same time, whenever you get grown, it comes a time that, you can't keep using that as an excuse to behave badly. Because, you have to understand and have to know and have to accept that everybody, especially somebody who you want to marry, does not have to accept your bad behavior. And now, I'm getting to another issue, leaving that one alone. I feel another issue is that it seems like in society now, nobody hardly cares about anybody anymore. Everybody's looking at money and everybody's looking at sex and status or anything like that. Like I said, it's not like I'm trying to say that you don't have to have anything. But I mean, sometimes with me, dealing with this from a personal level, at 44 years old, I don't know in this society whether I will ever find the one. Because so many people, I'm 44 years old, and right now, only thing I do is something maybe just to get some extra money is, maybe shoot some pictures or anything like that. I mean, but financially, I'm not where I really want and need to be at my time and at my age to where I can really be with anybody, because I mean that's the first thing that they look at. And if somebody was with me, then that would have to be a very understanding person. And then if you find an understanding person, then you have to deal with listening possibly, or them listening possibly, to their family and friends and everything and what they're going to say. Instead of keeping their nose out of your business, they're going to butt their nose into your business and tell them, what they need to be doing. They're not going to look at the fact that I might be nice, I might, know how to talk, I know how to treat people, might have a good heart. They're only going to be looking at the fact of what I have or what I don't have. And I think in society now, I think that this is some of the problem. That I feel a whole lot of women, especially black women, because I would love to date within my own race, but especially black women who, look over good guys for the thug or for the nigga, even for the wigger, for instance. And I feel a whole lot of us good guys and stuff who are nice actually finished last. Especially somebody like me, because the way Deborah Cooper talks, or Simone56, that's another YouTuber, these kind of, or another, what's her name, Egypt Ann, she's another black YouTuber who puts black men down, calls us apes and all of this other kinds of stuff, say that we're low down, low class and everything. Even another one named Tree of Logic, she's a black YouTuber who's on the conservative side, who does some of the same stuff. I mean, even though we know it's a whole lot of black men who, contribute to bad behavior and contribute to the problems and the ills to our society, because we're not going to take that away, because, there's a segment of us, who are nice and good-hearted, even God-fearing. But, we do, of course, have that culture, or should I say, that subculture, due to the hip-hop generation, if you will, that has given into the subculture of hip-hop, meaning, the subculture of hip-hop, meaning the killing and the robbing and the thugging and the tearing down and the destruction of the black community. And many, young black men have gone into this culture and ate this culture up and live according to this culture, believe it or not, including my own godson. So, we do have that segment in everything too. And, it seems like it permeates every single facet of society, whether it's on the street, whether you're dealing with crime or, poverty or jobs or, so that's, if you're going to deal with every facet of society, that means it also comes into dating and also finding the right one. That is many, black men who, have done certain things to hurt black women. And it's like, when they get hurt and everything, they visit that upon, us, good guys who don't mean them any, harm or anything like that. But I mean, sometimes the way Deborah Cooper and some other black women YouTubers talk about things, they act like it's all of us who are doing some of these things. But I'm here to tell you, Deborah Cooper or Tree of Logic or, Egypt Ann or Simone56, it's not all of us. It is not all of us. It's still some good black men left, but I feel that you got to know what it is you want, that you got to be also willing to play your role, because Deborah Cooper, she even said one time that she doesn't care if a man did work and have a job all day. He should be doing things at home. If he just wanted to just relax and just didn't want to do anything at work, after work, she says that if your wife tells you something to take out the garbage, just get up, or if she puts it, get your funky ass up out the chair, go take out the garbage, put in another garbage can, and then a garbage bag in the can or something, and just go sit back down somewhere. You know, and plus, you know, as far as like sometimes dating goes, this segues into this too. Sometimes, you know, females, and I guess men have this kind of problem too. We don't know how to communicate or talk with each other, and we don't know how to disagree without being or acting disagreeable to the point that we're yelling and screaming and cursing each other out. And somehow I get a feeling if Deborah Cooper were with someone, I get a feeling that that man would have hell. There's no kind of a way that he could talk to her, that he could talk to her. Just because of the way she comes off, some of the stuff that she says, even though certain things that she says, gotta look at the time again, because gotta see whether I'm ending on time. And so far, am I doing it so far? While I'm doing that, you know, it's just some of the stuff that, okay, I'm good. So far, some of the stuff that she says, you know, it's, oh, like I said, some things make some sense, but it's just certain things that she just says that, you know, she shouldn't say. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not there trying to use this as a measuring stick to try to control a woman or try to say what a woman should not, you know, say. But I believe that, you know, I feel it's a right way and a wrong way to talk to or say any kind of a thing. I mean, sometimes after work, no, some of you women don't give men a chance to rest. I mean, anytime that you want something done, I mean, you act like you can't wait. You got to have it done now. I want it done now. Take out the garbage now. Cut the grass now. Wash the dishes now. Would you just shut up? That nagging demon. We as men will have a whole lot more love and respect for you if you just know how to come to us and talk to us about any kind of problem that you're having in a nice way. Because it even says in, you know, I can only give you a portion of scripture where it says that a soft answer turns away wrath. So even the Bible even says that's God talking, that it's in the way that you communicate. It's in the way that you talk to each other. And I'm not gonna leave the men out either. It's ways that we men could talk better to you ladies. You know, whenever you're telling us something, I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure a whole lot of you ladies don't want to be ignored. So no, we shouldn't ignore you. And we should, you know, since, you know, a marriage is supposed to be a partnership. You know, we're both equal partners. We both have an equal say, and we both have an equal vote. And I don't think that it's just all 50-50. I think that two people who know who they are, who know who God is, who have worked on their issues, who tried to become better, who have fasted, who have prayed, when they come together, he's 100, she's 100. So after you get together, it's no longer 50-50, it's 100 and 100, equal partnership. That's what I would like to see in my lifetime. Have a marriage like my parents had. Been together 50 years in coming up in 2019. I would love that. But, you know, being at the age I am now, and considering what is out there now, or the lack of what is out there now. I mean, this is not only in the street, this is also in the church too. Because there's many women in the church that I talk about, or you know, that I'm talking about, who have some of the same attitude as, you know, the rest of the women who are in the world, because women in the church have taken on some of the same spirits and the same mentality of the women in the world. So a whole lot of women in the church is no better, because the divorce rate in the church is still high. But yet the divorce rate in the church is high, and the thing what makes the church supposed to be different is that, you know, you're dealing with two people who say that they love God, and two people who are supposed to have the same spirit, but yet getting divorced. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, but I guess the only thing that I can do is continue on to hope and continue on to pray and encourage you all to do the same thing in your relationships. Only thing I can encourage you to do in closing, in conclusion, is to hold on. If you got that special somebody, hold on to each other. love each other, cherish each other, know how to communicate, know how to talk to each other. And that way you will have a stronger relationship, which will lead to stronger marriages, which will lead to stronger children. And this way we can possibly have better communities. So with that, I'm going to leave that exactly where it is. If anybody likes this video, be sure to hit the like button and a thumbs up and give me a thumbs up on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified of any new videos whenever I upload them. So right now this is Roosevelt, or this has been Roosevelt Sounds Off. And so I will talk to everybody in the next video. Peace and blessings to all.